Hi, Bill Russell from CrossFit Cleveland and Rocky River here with your workout details for Tuesday. You're going to start out with a 10 to 12 minute warm-up that has a push-up strength routine built into it. You're going to start out and do 10 shoulder rollouts with a piece of PVC or a band, then 10 good mornings, 10 Sumo Deadlift high pulls. You can use your PVC for the movement or a kettlebell or a dumbbell. Then 20 jumping jacks, 20 butt kickers, and 20 bicycle crunches. As you're working through those rounds, you're going to stop when the clock hits 2 minutes, and you're going to perform 5 push-up negatives. That's starting out in the top of a push-up and slowly lowering through the eccentric portion for 10 to 15 seconds. And pop back up and do it 4 more times. So there'll be 5 reps of push-up negatives, and then you'll resume where you left off in the warm-up movements. You'll do another set of 5 push-up negatives when your clock hits 6, and then continue on with the warm-up movements, and then again when the clock hits 10, you'll do your third set of 5 push-up negatives. Your workout today is a typical Tuesday, fast and furious. 4 rounds for time. You're going to do 20 one-arm dumbbell snatches. It's 10 with your right and 10 with your left for a total of 20, and then 30 mountain jacks. Go as heavy as you can go with the snatches, and you can alternate, or you can do all 10 on one side and all 10 on the other, or you can alternate every couple reps. As long as you do 10 each arm, it's your choice on when you alternate your hands. You can alternate by putting the dumbbell on the floor, or you can switch mid-air and go from the hang. Your choice. Just 20 one-arm snatches per round and 30 mountain jacks. And as your cool down, you're going to do 1 more round of the warm-up and finish with 1 more set of 5 push-up negatives, just like you did in the warm-up. So you'll have 4 sets of 5 reps of push-up negatives throughout the entire workout time. So when you're ready, set a clock, and 3, 2, 1, go. As always, we have demos of the movements to follow. First with the warm-up, then with the push-up negatives, and then the workout movements. But have a great Tuesday.
I'm going to demonstrate a shoulder rollout. I'm using a jumbong, Bill's jumbong, but you could use a PVC or a broomstick, just nice and wide, and just opening up the shoulders back and forth, seeing if you can get all the way back over. Just nice and wide, getting that blood flowing into your shoulders.
Slowly, as you got good shoulders, slowly narrow your grip. Make sure you keep your elbows locked.
For those of you with bad shoulders, it might be a struggle, but if you have good shoulders, you want to just kind of start bringing that in a little bit closer at a time, making sure that your elbows are locked out and not falling in. Body weight good mornings. You're going to take these, your feet are just hip distance apart, and you're going to take your hips and you're going to move them back, keeping your head neutral and just slowly feeling that through your hamstrings. If you have at home a broomstick, or you want, I hope you have a broomstick. If you want a broomstick, you can put the broom on the back of and just do it that way. But it's not really necessary.
I'm going to demonstrate Sumo Deadlift high pulls. If you have a barbell, I'm going to demonstrate this with a jumbong or a piece of PVC. I'm going to take a wider stance, sumo stance. My hands are about 4 to 6 inches apart. The ending position is going to be elbows out to the sides, the bar right under my chin, my wrist relatively neutral. I'm not curling up like this. Coming up underneath and right back down. Start from the deadlift position with an empty bar or PVC just about mid-shin. I'm going to drive up and explosively extend my hips, shrug up and right back down. Up and right back down. Up and right back down. A kettlebell sumo deadlift high pull. Now hold the kettlebell, both hands, wide stance, come down where your wrist is about mid-shin. You don't necessarily need to touch the floor unless you have a large, heavy kettlebell. So I'm going to be down, drive up, right under my chin, and right back down. Avoid an early pull. Don't pull with your arms. Make sure you drive with your legs and hips. Make sure you get everything out of that hip and leg extension before you pull up underneath your chin. If you don't have a kettlebell, a dumbbell will work. Holding that one dumbbell with both hands. Remember, your elbows are going to be out to the sides. Down, drive up, and back down. Same movement pattern as rowing, except you're standing up. Big muscles, medium-sized muscles, then the little muscles, and then return. It's a sumo deadlift, high pull. I'm going to demonstrate a jumping jack, just a good old-fashioned jumping jack. Up and down, up and down. Big circles with your arms. So that's 1, 2, 3.
Bicycle crunches. All right, flat on your back, nice tight position of your core, shoulders off the ground. Gonna come up, you're gonna bring your one knee to elbow, knee to elbow. Right, left is 1. All right, so right or left, that's 1. All right, try not to do this. You wanna be pushing out, push out, keeping it nice and tight. Don't yank on your head at all. Just keep everything nice and tight and just solid, fluid movements.
A slow eccentric push-up. I'm going to lower myself as slowly as I can. For example, a 10-second eccentric push-up will start out the top of the plank, and I'm going to lower myself as slowly as I can to a 10 count, keeping a straight, strict plank or hollow position. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010, and just keep it going. Notice I got the 10 before I was down, and I was able to last a few extra seconds. If you're not able to last that long, just let yourself out when you need. If you need to be 1, 2, 3, just lower yourself nice and soft.
One arm dumbbell snatch. I'm using a 15 pound. You could use whatever you have. You're just going to keep you're going to bring your weight right below your knees. Your chest is up, your back is tight. And I'm just going to think about if you're starting a lawnmower, you're going to pop it all the way up and down. You notice I got my hips all the way open on that. And when you bring it back down, just be careful keeping it nice and close to your body. All the way up and back down. So you can see it from this angle. I'm going to start, everything else is the same, it's just a different angle. Up and down. Up and down. Sometimes there's a requirement to switch hands, going every other hand, or even a requirement to go to the ground. These are my examples. So if I'm switching out my snatch each hand and I'm not going all the way to the ground, it's going to look like this. Up and then back down. Okay, switching your hands. If there's a requirement to hit the ground each time, you're going to bring it all the way back down to the ground right here and up and switching it out. Always remember to keep your chest up. You're opening your hips all the way and thinking about pushing through the ground as you're shrugging up and pulling yourself under that weight. Our standards at CrossFit Cleveland are that when you're switching, you're not switching mid-air. You're when it's on the ground, you're going to switch on the ground. So not as you're coming down, all right? So here's my up release, and up. The reason we do that at CrossFit Cleveland is that we are separating the eccentric from the concentric movement. If you are using a bumper plate for your snatches, again, I would hold it right here at the 10 and the 2. You're gonna come all the way to the ground and you're gonna straight up. Make sure you're keeping that weight nice and close to you. No matter what it is that you're using, you're gonna keep it nice and close. So from the side, you can see I'm pulling it up and then I'm bringing it right back down. I'm not letting it come away from me at all. If your weight's a little bit heavier, you might do what we would call a power snatch. So everything's the same, except you're gonna pull yourself underneath it and stand. Then bring it back all the way down. Just like if you had a barbell, you're gonna reset yourself. Remember, back is tight, chest is up, head is neutral, right here, and up, and you're opening your hips all the way up at the top of that movement. If you're using a detergent or something else, the movement doesn't change. It's a little bit different, maybe a little bit awkward. Right here and up. There you go, back down. So the detergent is moving, so that's probably not your best option, but if it's your only option, then have at it. If you're doing snatches with your gym bag, you can load it with some books. I would also pad it with some pillows or, you know, anything soft so that the books aren't moving around. You can see my bag is pretty packed. So what I'm gonna do with these, the movement is the exact same. I'm just gonna think about if you had a sandbag, it would be the same exact thing. I'm gonna open up all the way and bring it back down. Heavier weights. Okay, just so you can see it on the side here and down. If you have a ball or you borrowed a slam ball from us, again, the same movement applies. Starting right down here or if right here, either way, you're gonna come up and under. Reset, bring it back down. Again, I'm not letting, even though it's light, I'm not letting it come away from me. I'm practicing keeping that weight close to me. Concentrating on pushing through your heels, opening your hips, getting your elbows high and wide before you pull yourself under. A mountain jack, all right? So you're gonna bring it in, out, in. This last position of your feet is important. You don't wanna skip that. In, out, in. If you're coordinated and you can do that, that's fine, but you wanna make sure that your feet are coming back into that top plank position each time.